our company, Walmart, is very community involved, and they gave us a challenge to come up with what we were going to do to help feed Illinois last fall. And Jody and I talked about it and trying to get some ideas, and it had a suggestion that the Boys and Girls Club does a lot of helping feed the hungry. So we called Amy at the Boys and Girls Club, and she wasn't sure at first what we were wanting to do, but we said, just try to do like a backpack program, like we've heard in some of the schools in Southern Illinois, I think it is, they started, where they do the backpacks that the kids take home for the weekend so that they have food for the weekend when they're not at school eating. And so we talked with Amy, and she said she could come up with a list of the kids so we wouldn't be involved in knowing, what kids, what their incomes were or anything. We were just going to provide the food that go in the backpacks. And we brought an example of what we put in each backpack for the kids. We have, right now we're having for the summer program, we have 13 families and 36 kids that we make bags for. We have, we put a meal, some kind of a meal, either a complete meal. Sometimes we put spaghetti and spaghetti sauce, or something for them to make a meal for the whole family. And then we try to vary what we give them, but we usually give them 2 meats, which it's like we have peanut butter and jelly, we have the beans and rice, examples of the meats. Yeah, we have fruits. We give them 2 fruits, 2 meats, 2 dairy, and 2 grain. And we have the shelf milk that the food bank has been wonderful about ordering stuff in that we can fill because, and then once in a while we'll throw in like a fresh fruit from the store. We'll have apples or oranges that we'll throw in there. We just have to try to keep in mind that it has to be something that's not perishable, because we don't know how long it's going to take for them to get it to their house, so we don't want to have anything that's going to spoil. But we give them at least 8 things. Sometimes we'll throw in an extra cookie for them, or sunflower seeds, so they have some extra stuff. But the kids, they look forward to this. Like Wednesday, they start asking if their bags are there, because we usually put them together on Friday afternoons on our lunch. We do it on our own time, volunteer time, and we put the bags together. We have usually anywhere between 2 to 5 volunteers that volunteer their time each Friday to make the bags up, and it kind of varies on who all helps. And then somebody runs it down there on Friday afternoon on their own time, runs it down, drops it off at the Boys and Girls Club so that they can pass them out. We couldn't do it without working with Amy at the Boys and Girls Club. She's the one that, she also sent a letter to kind of explain the impact that it has had on the families. It says, the impact of the backpack program has greatly exceeded any of our expectations. Parents of the families who receive the backpacks see the assistance as a partnership and not only express their appreciation for the physical food, but also see the assistance as a trust builder and have begun to ask for help in other areas of their parenting. So many parents have come forward to ask for advice on how to handle behavior issues at home. Another unexpected result has been the tremendous change in behavior from the children who receive the backpacks. As members have been receiving the consistent meals that are nutritionally balanced, they're able to focus and think more clearly. I have seen these children become less irritable and able to think through things at a level they were not able to before. We have had less fighting than ever before in our programming. It sounds so simple, but when somebody is hungry, it's almost impossible to focus on anything other than the hunger pains that they are experiencing. The families are so grateful that finding a way to feed their children on the weekends is one less obstacle for them to navigate. With long hours at work, mounting bills, and often a lack of support from a second parent, the very basic need of providing balanced meals can seem like an impossible task. I can honestly tell you that the parents count on the meals, some calling all day Friday to see if the backpacks have come in yet. We appreciate Walmart and the Peoria Food Bank for making the backpacks a reality for our neediest families, as without them our children would continue to suffer. So that's how Amy, she runs the program, and she was kind of unsure at first, not sure how it would work out, if it would take too much of her time away, but now she said it's no problem at all. We do all the work for her. All she does is if some of the families move out of the area, then she'll figure out who the next neediest ones are to put into the program. And our numbers have changed. I think we started with 24 and and then now, you know, we're up to 36. So we're just trying to serve the ones that need it the most. If we had more volunteers, more funding, you know, we could try to do more, but right now we're able to do what we can. We're, with the first 6 months we did it, we started in October, and then through January with the, Walmart has an Event Always Pays program. With all the volunteer hours that we were able to provide, we were able to give them $6,500 from the Walmart Corporation for all our volunteer hours. And so far, the 6 months this year, we've given them $1,500 so far. So, and
which by us doing the food bank, they can put that money towards swimming in the summer or just ball games or just different things. So
yeah, they're able to help their program out a lot. And without the food bank helping us to supply the food, we would have run out of funding.
A long time ago.
Yeah, a while ago. So we want to thank Barb and helping out with.
But they not only do the backpack program. You guys, don't you have employees that go down to the Girls and Boys Club and paint?
Yeah, we did that last fall. That's why we had a lot of hours last fall. They went out and they painted some classrooms for them. We went down, had a cookout for them. We adopted them at Christmas time. Our associates got so excited about, you know, doing the backpack program that they said, well, why can't we adopt them for Christmas? Because, you know, they don't have a lot of money. So we had a little tree in the break room, and we bought presents for, what was it, 130 some kids that our families of associates adopted the kids and bought them clothes and shoes and toys for Christmas time. So, and they're already asking this year, are we going to do it again this year? I want to do it again this year. So we probably will have a lot more hours in helping out with them this year when it gets around Christmas time, because they get really excited about helping then.
So what I'm going to talk about today is the SNAP program and how it affects children, and my own personal experiences with SNAP, and also since I've been in this position. SNAP, for those who don't know, is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That is the new name for what was formerly known as food stamps. So a lot of people don't seem to know that, but that is the new name for food stamps. SNAP provides government assistance for low-income families. It allows them to purchase food only. They get given in the state of Illinois what's called the link card, and with the link card you're allowed to purchase food that you can prepare yourself at the store, but you can't purchase things like pre-made food, rotisserie chicken, fried chicken, stuff like that. You can't purchase dog food, cat food, or any toiletries, just food for your household. 48% of all SNAP participants are children. 79% of SNAP benefits go to households with children. And 58% of these households are headed by single-family homes, which means it's just one parent, either a mother or a father, but typically just a single-parent home. The average income for families receiving SNAP benefits is $711 a month, and that's a gross income. So that's on average what people are receiving with SNAP benefits, even as a family, not just one person. What I like to talk about, a lot of people typically have stereotypes as to what the average person who is receiving SNAP or food stamps is like, and when you ask people that, you know, people say they're lazy, you know, they're this, they're that, and I take personal offense from that because I was on SNAP benefits for my last 2 years of college. I have an 8-year-old son, he'll be 9 in October, and I had him right after I graduated from high school. I've had a job my entire life. I started working when I was 14. I graduated high school when I was 17, and I actually got a really good job out of high school. I lost my job in 2006. I had cervical cancer, and I ended up losing my job. So for a while, I lived off of my retirement funds. I took out my 401k, and I lived off of that, but that wasn't quite enough for a long time. So when it came down to my money running out of my bank, I was going to school full-time and just trying to finish school and do that and do it on my own. I was very, very, very hesitant to accept any kind of benefits because I never had any. Even when I had my son, even straight out of high school, I always took care of myself. So I was very hesitant to utilize SNAP benefits. It took my last 2 years in college before I actually accepted that help and started accepting food stamps. It was one of the best things I ever did. It helped my household so much. It was just one less bill to pay. I kept my house literally by the grace of God. I don't know how, but I didn't lose my house during hard times and recession. I bought my own house when I was 19, and somehow I managed to keep it even without my income and going to school, and I was able to keep it, but that was just one less bill that I had every month. I was lucky enough that 3 weeks out of college, I received a job that I was able to get off of SNAP benefits. So it was literally used as a transition, which is what SNAP benefits are supposed to be for. Now, the only problem I have is we used to have a snack cabinet for my son, and he still expects that to be full. So he still has a snack cabinet, but I was able to get off of SNAP benefits. So I like to share that with people because a lot of times people go, oh, well, you don't seem, oh, well, you look, you know, and you never really know who needs it or who uses it or why somebody needs it. But it's nothing to be ashamed of, and when people stick to the stereotypes and stuff about it, that's why so many people don't utilize the benefits. 33% of people in the United States qualify for SNAP benefits and are not receiving them. That is $7.2 billion a year that is not being used in our economy. One of the misconceptions that a lot of people say is that if they get SNAP benefits, they only get $5 a month or $10 a month, but the truth is the minimum amount is $16. And even though that may not seem like a big difference from 10, one of the things I like to say to people is, well, if you see $16 laying on the floor, would you pick it up? I would. Okay. And the average benefit amount for a family is $299 a month. So you can imagine how much that could help. That's a gas bill and a light bill together most of the time. SNAP has been associated with reducing childhood food insecurity and has had a positive impact on the cognitive and academic development as children grow older. According to physicians and medical researchers, SNAP is one of Americans' best medicines to prevent and treat childhood food insecurity. I have a couple of sources that were listed below there where you can get some of that information from, but SNAP benefits has helped families and it helps children a lot. So that's definitely something that we want to encourage people who are not currently on it to get on it. Food pantry usage is at an all-time high right now, while the utilization of SNAP benefits is at a low. The largest population groups that qualify but are not receiving SNAP benefits are senior citizens and Hispanics. And most recently, I just started kind of my senior outreaches. I just started my outreaches in March, technically, of this year. And between March and now, there's over $12,000 worth of benefits now being used in McLean County. And we have submitted over 109 applications and assisted over 217 people. So that's literally in just a short amount of time, a large amount of people that we've been able to help with the outreaches. I did my first senior citizen outreach last week, a couple weeks ago. And while we were there, on average, I do about 2 to 4 applications per outreach. And we ended up doing 12 applications. I was supposed to be there for 2 hours, and I ended up being there 4 hours just because I came to them. So they were really interested in that service once we went there, and I'm going back there at the end of this month. So in order to most effectively assist families, I call it the 3 C's: come to them, consistency, and caring. A lot of people, since I've been working, I found, are not utilizing SNAP benefits because they're told a lot of different things, either from the DHS office, or they just think they don't qualify. If you have a job, you don't qualify. You know, a lot of different things. So if we're knowledgeable in the information that we tell people, then we can help them as much as we possibly can. The minimum gross income for one person is anyone who makes less than $11.74 a month. So that's one person alone. If you make less than $11.74 and you've been a citizen for at least 5 years, you qualify for SNAP benefits. That's all it takes. Even if you are not a legal permanent resident, you can still apply for SNAP benefit for your children as long as they're under 18. And a lot of people don't know that neither. So if we take the time to speak with our family, a lot of our food pantries ask them or have them fill out a portion where it says yes or no, they're not on SNAP benefits. They send them directly to me or give them my number and stuff like that and tell me to call me so that they could sign up for SNAP benefits because it's something that will help them. So that's pretty much what I do. there any questions?
I'd like to add that Feeding Illinois also matched the grant to United, that we got from United Way. And that really helps us because what we're going to be doing shortly, starting in September, is setting up a training at a local site and inviting our pantry volunteers to come and find out how to complete a SNAP application right there at the pantry, instead of giving people this huge application, paper application to fill out, because we know they don't fill them out. I mean, I couldn't do it. So we're going to start a training, and we're going to start here in Peoria. And the pantries who signed up that they would be interested in knowing more will be coming, and we'll go through that application process. And that helps us. Feeding Illinois has been wonderful in giving us that kind of support. So it's a great program. I didn't realize until Brittany started doing this that the SNAP benefits certainly reap the community reaps the benefits of the SNAP outreach. And what did you say it's brought into the community down there?
For every $1 spent in SNAP, I want to say it's $7 that goes into the community. Was that what it was?
I think that's it.
$5 to $9.
$9
that go into the community for every $1 in SNAP benefits.
And we have a lot of people, like she said, that qualify for SNAP that just don't want to do the paperwork or so.
Yeah, the paper application is 12 pages compared to the online application, which is like 6. Well, it's 6 portions, but it's a big difference.
So, anyway, thank you, Brittany.
Before we move on to the question section,
Yes.
because I feel like there's going to be some good discussion, we just have to flip our videotape.
Oh, okay.
Switch that out real quick. So
Okay.
can you take a quick from you there?
Please. So we need to preview. It'll be the same position we were before.
That was a quick minute.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's good.
Yes, I'm sorry. We're open for questions, comments. The speakers can ask or answer any question I'm sure that you may have. So do we have any questions? Comment?
I just want to tell all of you what a wonderful job you're doing, and I want to thank you, and keep up the good work. I really need lots and lots of support.
Thank you.
If there's any questions, if you don't have a mic in front of you, we have a mic set up back
Oh.
here. So I can walk in.
Yeah, just walk past her.
I'll walk around.
Hi, my name is Maggie Rivera, and I'm here with the Illinois Migrant Council as well as with the League of United Latin American Citizens, where I'm the National Midwest VP. And I just want to highlight how impressed I am with the work they do with the Boys and Girls Club and through your program. I really am very enthusiastic, especially because I personally own a grocery store and I see what you're doing, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this could be duplicated in so many different places. So I want to congratulate you, and especially for teaming up with the Boys and Girls Club. And I would really love to speak to one of you so that we can probably talk and see how we can bring this to the rest of the state. And even the national, it is wonderful to see that these little things are happening around our little corners of our state, and we need to tell the rest of the state what you are doing so that they can take that and perhaps implement in their own areas. Thank you, and again, congratulations. Thank you. I don't think that I just.
on.
Is it on? Okay.
Just talking.
Hi, my question is actually also for you. I think that it's wonderful that you're participating in this, but I had a clarifying question. I know that you're doing this on your own time. Does Walmart donate some of the food, or does the food itself all come from the pantry?
Walmart has a program with the food bank where they donate, like I said, they freeze the meat in the freezer, they freeze bread, dented cans, open packages, well, like open outside packages if the outside's open but the inside's still attached. They have a program in place where Jody actually works in receiving, and she scans the food under the donation thing, so it automatically takes it out and puts it in the donation. Do you remember how many pounds?
Oh, gosh, I forgot that.
Barb might have it.
Oh, gosh,
We just started this program 2 years ago, but before that.
Is Walmart nationwide?
Walmart nationwide does the donation where the food bank picks it up 3 days a week, and they take it.
Thousands of pounds. Last year was over a couple 100,000 pounds,
Yeah,
I believe, at our last press conference. So
Yeah.
thousands of pounds.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But the program with the backpacks is just what we came up with to help with our little store doing the Feeding America, how we tried to.
Yeah, and I think that part of it is wonderful, and I'm very interested in public-private partnerships and how we might be able to take some of these great models and help to expand them. So thank you for sharing.
So on a follow-up to that, so that food's not any of the donated food?
Well, no, not particularly.
Well, we actually donate it through.
We donate it to the food bank, and then the Boys and Girls has a account at the food bank, and then plus Barb, we have grants that, we put in for.
Most of the food that goes for the backpack program is purchased food, and through our wonderful donors, we are able to donate that food. So the backpack program is totally funded by the food bank for now, and we're hoping and praying that we'll be able to do that because as it goes on, we know it's going to grow. So, it's totally funded by the food bank.
And where do you purchase the food from?
From various vendors. And it's very expensive, by the way. A backpack program, I'm sure you're aware of it, is very expensive to run because you have to buy the little pouches that the kids can open, the small amounts of food. And we have a vendor in California that we buy from. And we just keep our eyes and ears open for some good buys on. And we have a section in our warehouse that is just backpack food. So we buy pouches, chicken that's in pouches, tuna in pouches. Yeah.
They love the chicken.
Milk in cartons, which you saw today. It's all shelf stable. So, and it's things that the kids can pop in the microwave or pop open the can and eat themselves. And we try to purchase items that are nutritious for them. But that's very expensive, and so we just try. We just work together, and Jody and Linda call us every week with an order, and we ask what they want, and we try to keep it in the food bank for them. So, yeah.
Yeah, they try to. We sometimes have put pretzels in there and Sun Chips. We try to stay healthier rather than just like the regular. Yeah.
Yeah. Backpack per family?
That is per child. Yeah, that's per child. We have families anywhere from 1 child up to 6 children.
So if there's 5 kids in the Boys and Girls Club program, then 5 kids, they get one of these?
They all get a bag, and then we do this usually 1 per family, but if there's like 6 kids, we'll have 2 bags, one with 3 kids with a meal and another with 3 kids with a meal. So
well, what they found is, these kids go home and they have a sack full of food, but it's not, they've got siblings at home. And Jody or Linda was telling me that, one of the...
Well, it was, at the backpacks, Amy takes into consideration, like if there's a 3-year-old at home, we'll send an extra bag for the 3-year-old at home. But we started putting the family meals in because they said, well, if my friend's mom's there, she might take stuff out of my bag.
Yeah.
So we say, well, you grab your bag, you take it to your room, and then you give them the meal, and then that's something the whole family can share, but then they have their own little bag they can take to their room because none of it has to be refrigerated, you know, and that way they have it and they feel it's safer in their room where they can have the food and nobody else gets it.
Yes.
Yes. I'm grateful to be here, and I enormous respect for those of you who are here volunteering and others who are not, because, you know, I was just thinking everyone was so upset yesterday when the stock market tanked. We need to be every bit as upset that people are going hungry. So this to me is a very meaningful meeting. The Commission to End Hunger, are you members of the commission?
Yes.
One of the issues I think would be very important to take away from the tour, at least certainly I am. My name's David Leach, I'm the state representative from Peoria. I would love to see the paperwork. I would think a very significant contribution by the commission would be to review with people around the state what is that paperwork and why is it the way it is. I say that in part because for the last 10 years at least, virtually every Monday morning I meet with community-based mental health providers, and we all know Illinois has probably the worst, no, they do have the worst mental health system in the United States, as well as the worst system for helping developmentally disabled people. One of the most challenging parts of all of this is the paperwork. In our group, we often do whatever you want to call them. I guess the professional term is algorithms. I just call them flow charts. But instead of starting at the top, we start at the bottom. So that in this case, if a child or a family is hungry, how do they get access to the program? That would be a very valuable diagram. Because when one takes the time to go through those exercises, it reveals where the problems and where the barriers are. If somebody wants to sign up on Medicaid, so many times, I've been on the Human Services Committee for 25 years. I'm always hearing about all these people that go to the emergency room instead of to the hospital. Our group asks why. And I would tell you that a very major reason why is how many of you have actually seen the forms necessary to fill out to qualify for either a disability, which goes off into one direction into the state bureaucracy, and then get to the financial part, which goes off into another part of the state bureaucracy, and then theoretically they come back and loop up, and by then the poor person's dead probably, because all of those forms are done by people who aren't like the people in this room.
Right.
The forms are being done is horrible at the state, but let alone the feds. And with the recent changes, so many of the community-based agencies have to fill out all this paperwork by program, not even by grant. So it seems to me it would be extremely valuable for the commission to really bring this to the attention of those who are producing these forms and share with them what an impediment it is for hungry kids to get access to food. So thank you. This is a very valuable meeting, and I appreciate the opportunity to be invited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.